Welcome back, everybody, to the Beers and Beat podcast. My name is Gabe.
And I'm Woodzy.
And today, I'm Beers, and I'm drinking a refreshing White Claw, and it's 2:40 in the morning for me. And Woodzy.
I'm moving house, so my kettle's broken. So I'm actually drinking what looks like coffee, but it's actually Diet Coke. Forgive me, guys. It's also 10:40 in the morning for me. We got an hour less this week. This is the hour time difference where I'm actually closer to Gabe. So
Freaking
cool.
daylight savings is wild.
Woo!
It actually, when you just put that up, if you're watching the video podcast, it looks so much like coffee.
It really does.
It's straight up
Getting away
like
with
coffee.
it.
If you're not watching a video podcast, then you are missing out on the fact that I'm wearing a onesie. I'm tired, but I'm here and I'm ready to rock. So we're going to start off the podcast just like we always start off a podcast, which we've only had a few episodes, but guess what? This is how we do it. We're going to read some reviews. So we have Apple Podcast reviews. So wherever you review us, we're going to find it somehow. And we got 2 new reviews here. And Woodzy, I just think you're going to like this one. This review is titled Talented, Brilliant, Incredible. This review comes from me with a bunch of exclamation marks. Not actually me, just that's the name on Apple, I guess.
Oh, Gabe just admitted.
Imagine if I did it just to make you feel good. No, I didn't.
Gabe, I was reviewing myself. This is me. It's all me.
It's not me, I promise. New favorite podcast, V Poggies. Plus, Woodzy has funny British man accent. Would rate 100 out of 5, but can't. That's it.
Wow.
That's the whole review.
What a review. Funny British man. I told you, it's all in the accent.
Hey, if
I'm
they're
finally
here for the
being
accent,
appreciated.
let's monetize it, dude. And then we got another review come in on Sunday saying, true friendship. I love the chemistry Gabe and Woodzy have together, and it's great that they finally have a podcast. And that comes from Cannoli45. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you guys so very much for those reviews. That has been wonderful. I also want to say thank you for listening to the freaking podcast. The episode reviews and the episode feedback from episode 1 was amazing. Episode 2 just launched, and we're going to start advertising the frick out of that now. But we already have, I think, like 5 or 10 viewers or / listeners, and we haven't said anything. We just launched it again. So you guys have actually subscribed. You're seeing it in your inboxes, and we appreciate you so very much. But go ahead to the YouTube and subscribe to YouTube as well. We'll read those comments on air also. Thank you very, very much. I'm excited about that. Woodzy, how you doing, buddy?
I mean, the downside of drinking Diet Coke is it's making me burp a little bit, so I'm going to try and keep that away from the mic. But I'm good. I'm good, Gabe. I'm a little bit sleepy because, I mean, I feel you're going to vouch with me on this one. We've actually just finished the first Grid Marbles event. And I finished about 10 hours ago and went home and slept, and poor Gabe is still going. He hasn't slept yet.
It's 2 a.m. I went to sleep yesterday at 3, and I woke up at 7. So I had 4 hours of sleep yesterday, and I'm awake. Hello.
Oh, he's awake. Hello.
If you come from my streams, you know sleep-deprived Gabe is pretty fun. I'm pretty laid back, but on top of that, I'm drinking White Claws, dude. I'm drinking raspberry. And it tastes delicious.
He's going to be passed out by the end of this. I guarantee it. We were talking about the review of episode 2, and Gabe was like, yeah, I got a bit too political on the last one because I was the one who was beers. And I was like, okay, this one's going to be a mess. So
we're talking about a bunch of crazy stuff.
Well, Gabe will try to behave himself, but also won't. Easy content.
I'll figure it out, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'll yell at a bird. Who knows? We'll find something. To do.
No. So Gabe actually put a tweet out from our Twitter account. And we were asking the audience if they had anything that they wanted us to discuss on the podcast. And we got Poison Dash, the man, the myth, the legend. He came in with a question with us. So do you want to hear it, Gabe?
I'm ready. Throw it at me.
You ready? Okay, so my man Poison Dash, I think he's trying to get ahead of the curve here. I think he's looking for some deep insight. He's asked,
"What are your gamer knowledge, dude?"
Maybe he is, and he's trying to get ahead of everyone else. So he's ready to make some big bucks.
Okay.
But he's asked, what are your predictions for the next big hit trend? It was Fall Guys, then Among Us. What's next, and when do you think it's going to be?
Oof.
When do you think it's going to be?
I don't know what it's going to be, but I can answer when it's going to be.
Oh, you already know?
Yeah. I think the next trend is going to hit right in the middle of December to the beginning of January. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's the 30th of October, the day that we're recording this on. So Gabe is predicting 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'm predicting that the next big trend is going to hit in the middle of December to the beginning of January. I think what's going to happen is we've got new consoles coming out. We've got some changes to Twitch. Have you been seeing this Twitch advertising, this glitch thing?
Advertising glitch?
Oh, you haven't seen this? Okay.
No.
Okay, this is something we can talk about.
Please do tell. Do tell.
So Twitch has been advertising this weird glitch thing that's been going on. About a week ago, if you were on the Twitch website and you put your mouse cursor over the Twitch logo in the top left, it would glitch out and say, it's coming, and then it would go back to the logo. And then I think yesterday, so October 29th, I believe, all Kappas, the Kappa emote was solid gold.
I saw that, yeah.
Yep.
I did see I just assumed it was something weird.
They put out a promotional tweet saying it's coming, and then I think the date they're talking about is like it's 23rd or 24th of November, something like that.
Yeah. I've seen that. I have seen that tweet, but I didn't know about the Twitch logo and didn't know the golden Kappas. I thought it was a one-off thing that they just did for no apparent reason. I didn't realize it was part of a promotional campaign.
Yeah. So I think that is all that stuff's going down. We also got new Twitch DMCA drama. So I think we're just going to deal with a bunch of BS for a bit. And then I think somewhere in the mid-December to early January, something's going to hit hardcore. I have no clue what it's going to be. But
I'm trying to think what they could be teasing at. It's going to be, I don't know.
I think it's going to be. I think they're going to redo the entire website.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a website overhaul. Because Twitch just changed it 2 TwitchCons ago. They just changed the website, but the discoverability features right now still aren't that great, and they've really.
I will say they're getting better though.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are, and they're talking about it. So I think that's going to change.
I've been impressed. I've been impressed with their recommendations and how they recommend other streamers. And I've noticed I've been getting a lot more new followers recently. And I think that's because the recommendation has been getting better. As well as that, there's also, as you say, you've got this overhaul that they're talking about. Twitch tested certain things out with some partners or affiliates. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but they tested out in website donations. Instead of using PayPal or someone else, they actually tested out donations through Twitch. But Twitch take a portion of the donations like they do with bits and subs. Yeah, so it was a really small test pool. So I wonder if that's going to come out with it as well. I saw it on Twitter and somebody was talking about it who had access to it. And they're going to push it quite hard supposedly because it's in between the follower and the subscribe button. I think they called it something like support or
praise or
something along those lines. Yeah. And it was, and that was how, and you donate through that, and Twitch would obviously take some of that cash moolah.
I would be down though, because Twitch has a very if they maintain their stance, but they have a very aggressive stance that they'll never take money from you. So if someone subs and then they charge back, Twitch is still going to pay you for that sub, or same thing with bits. So if they did that for donos, dude, can you imagine donos that are protected?
Oof. That is pretty cool, actually.
I would close my PayPal right away. If I knew that I could get donated and that money is guaranteed, that's a fear. It doesn't matter how big or how small you are as a streamer. No matter what amount of money is donated, you always have a fear of is this idiot going to charge back? This person's getting really happy. I don't know them on my stream, and they're donating a bunch of money. I don't know them on anybody else's stream. What's happening? And it's it's hard to not get excited. Did you see Jacksepticeye's new video about donating money to Twitch streamers?
I have not, no.
So he donated $1,000 to this guy playing Hades, which is a dungeon crawling game.
Yep.
And the guy was freaking out, but he was very skeptical the entire time. And then so Jack typed in his chat, he was like, hey man, yeah, it's me. And he's like, oh, I feel so much better about this now. This is crazy that you're here.
Yeah, now it's real.
Yeah, he let himself relax, but his immediate fear was, if this is charged back, it's $60 to $100 that I can't pay.
Yeah, so I actually had an experience with this myself in terms of I got donated 2 sets of $100 and it was charged back later on by somebody that I'd known as well, and then they disappeared from the community because they wanted the chargebacks. They didn't actually let me know. So I'm very skeptical. I would have been at first, I would have been like, oh, maybe if that was me in their shoes, I wouldn't have reacted that way. but also my friend, I'm pretty sure you know him as well, Just in Time Official.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were playing Rocket League. I was actually playing with him at the time off stream, and he got donated $1,000 by a known big donator in the Rocket League scene, but he didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't really say anything, and Justin he freaked out, but I'm pretty sure he had the same fear that I can't enjoy this because what if they're gonna try? It's like that big what if.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, I have that fear. If anybody donates large that's not someone I know, I have that fear. I had one a long time ago. Like, I'm talking like 3 or 4 years ago when I was like 2 viewer average, me and my friend. And some guy came in and dropped $50. And yeah, that might not be a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me. And I saw that and I was like, what the frick? And then I got a chargeback. And I was like, oh, God. But back then I had a job, so I could pay the chargeback fee. I wasn't really worried. But I remembered I freaking from the beginning had the disclaimer in there. And I had the clip of the dono. And I was like, you stinker. And I was able to win. But yeah, think about it. Like, if Twitch had that, like, that's crazy. I didn't know that at all. If Twitch had that, I would probably go for it. If they guaranteed the donos.
I mean, if you think about it on the smaller donos, like, for instance, when you get donated $1, I get 66 cents of that from PayPal because they take a huge whack of the fee anyway.
Yeah.
So I imagine Twitch might do a percentage.
I think they'll probably do what Stripe does. And what I use, I use CPay. So I allow people to donate to me with credit cards. And CPay is a system that works for, like, you can buy clothes through CPay. There's like a bunch of websites that use that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they do chargeback protection up to, I think it's $1,000 or something like that. But they take 2.6%. So I'd imagine it'd be something like that. Like Streamlabs takes, unless you pay for Streamlabs Premium, I think Streamlabs takes like 7.9 or something. Yep. Stream Elements is what I use. I think they take like 6 or 5. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd be down to give Twitch up to 3 if it was guaranteed. The annoying part, actually, we should talk about this. The annoying part about chargebacks is you don't get charged back on what you earn. You get charged back on the amount donated. So, for example, you get donated $1 and they charge that back. You're not getting charged back on 66 cents. You're getting a charge back on $1. So your fee is like 45 cents.
Yeah. It's stupid.
That's cool.
As a small streamer, you know, it adds up. And if you try to make streaming your only source of income or make a career out of streaming, donos play a big part. Especially as a small streamer, you'll hear Toast talking about it. This guy's Toast who talks a lot about money on the street. He's very open about it. And, you know, he's like, I love money. And it's like, me too, but I just don't have any. But with donos and stuff, he says as a small streamer, like, that's where a lot of them make the most of their income. They don't make it through subs and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously the big boys and girls, they make it all through subs, and that's all, as Gabe said, protected revenue. That's guaranteed. There's no way they're getting that charge back. And if there is, maybe it's the odd one or two. I don't even know. But the donations, they don't have to worry about. But as a small streamer, if you're trying to make it full time and somebody charges back on a big donation, you are in big boy trouble.
Especially if you took the money out of your account.
Oh, yeah. I remember telling you about when I got the donos, you were like, all right, leave it there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, just leave the money. If I ever get a big donut, I just leave the money in the account. Because it's easier,
take it out for
like the fee from that, you know?
When's PayPal's time of service? Is it 30 days, 45, 60? So it's one of the three. I'm pretty 90
days.
3 months
for a donation. If you have a store and they purchase something, it's 30. But for a donation, it's 90 days. People can charge back.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it makes no sense. You know how much stuff happens in 90 days? Anyways, to answer your question, Poison Dart, I don't know. I think it'll happen at the end of the year.
Poison Dart. Oh, Poison Dash. Get rolled, Carson. So to go back to that, I was actually thinking about we should loop back to the original question. We really went off on a tangent there. But hey, that's how the podcast is. We have a free-flowing conversation. Hey, that still applies to all streamers and Poison Dash. I'm sure you won't mind us going off there. Well, we've got Cyberpunk coming out, but as Gabe said, Cyberpunk, he said it in a previous podcast, it's a big RPG, if I'm not mistaken. Open world RPG, right? Yeah, I was about to get ready to get crucified in the comment. You idiot, it's not an RPG. Yeah, I'm not big into Cyberpunk, so for me, it's not going to be Cyberpunk, I don't think. Either that or I'm just going to miss out on the next wave. It also goes back to what we were saying in the previous podcast about Minecraft. and how awesome that game is, and it just sort of has these looping trends over time, and it becomes popular, dies off, like doesn't die off, but becomes less popular, and then goes back, spikes up again, and I think it's going to be. I mean, if you look at Fall Guys, it's a Twitter account that was run well and hilarious memes that really helped that grow. Among Us, it doesn't. I think it doesn't have much of a Twitter presence from its social media standpoint, but the community has a huge Among Us presence on Twitter and memes and whatnot. And I've got I'm friends with some of Kate's friends, and they've invited me to a group chat, and they're not gamers at all, and they're all trying to play Among Us. It's because it's that free, easy access game that you can play on mobile, you can play on phone. That's the same thing. You can play on mobile, you can play on PC, no matter how you do it. But I think with that, it's going to be the accessibility of it. And you have literally just got the iPhone 12?
12 Pro.
Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Show that bad boy on stream. All your listeners tune into YouTube to see Gabe's shiny new phone. It looks shiny, very pretty. I'm sat here with an iPhone 7, and I've still got my home button. I'm a poor boy. But we were talking about the quality of that phone and how easy it is to run at games and applications on. Yeah. Still has a 30-second Twitch delay. Very cool. Very nice. Does Twitch stink? Maybe with that overhaul, they'll fix the mobile delay. Dun, dun, dun. One can hope.
I get 400 megabits a second down.
Yeah. And you can't. You've got a 30-second delay on my stream.
30-second delay for no reason.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be another game just like that. It's easily accessible. I feel like free-to-play is getting more and more popular with microtransactions, and maybe free-to-play launches with PlayStation Plus, that sort of thing. If you look at the PS5 and where that's going, it's looking like it's winning the console war. I mean, we could probably talk about that a little bit later on.
I think you're right, though, because if, so Mr. Beast right now is really hopping on the Among Us train, and you could even argue he's a little late, to the train, but he is big enough that he restarts it, right? He restarts live for it. Yesterday, we were trying to play a game and we couldn't, no matter what server we chose, because Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, Valkyrae, Corpse, Saikuno, freaking all those people were playing at the same time, and everybody wanted to play while they played. I will never understand the concept of that. If my favorite creator is playing a game, I'm going to want to watch him play the game. I'm not going to want to play while watching. But either way, people are playing. So I think if the Among Us devs, if Intersloth can get the new map out before the end of the year, I think they can keep the hype probably until February.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about as well when they stopped developing Among Us 2, is how long they're going to take to bring out the new content. It's going to be the big one. So we've actually played on PC. You can play the beta version of Among Us.
Yep.
By turning it on in the settings, and that beta is a lot of fun. They've got things where they hide the taskbar until meetings. You can see the costumes that they've got in the meeting, because normally you'll be like, oh, who's wearing a hat? And then you go to the meeting and you're like, who's wearing a hat? And you can't see anyone. And you're like, fudge. There's that. I actually once caught someone's pet jumping into the vent, and then I was like, I don't know who it was. I was like, when I see your pet, when I get out of this meeting, you're getting done. And it was Cloud.
Yep.
He tried running away, bless him. I just saw his little stick there. I was like, call the meeting. Oh no, it's him. But yeah, it feels bad. But they're doing some really cool things with it. So I'm excited to see that, because the beta does make me want to play it more.
I agree. I think the beta is so much better. They just added simple things like the inability to see tasks going up make high level imposter plays significantly better. I played with the group yesterday and it was a lot of fun. I got imposter 7 times and I won 6. Yeah. Which is very rare for me. I usually never get imposter, but I'm always sussed as imposter. But we usually play, when we play, because we play a lot, we'll play with a bunch of tasks with all the visualized stuff turned off and relatively normal voting time. We'll play pretty hardcore. And when I played with this other group, they had 4 tasks and we were constantly getting 5 rounds in. 5 rounds with 4 tasks. And I was like, this is insanity. But with these new rules, I think with the new rules, you could have a very successful single imposter game. and I think that's not possible in a normal game. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'd be interested. I mean, maybe Among Us will be a trend. I think Poison Dash just wants to steal our ideas.
I can't blame him. He's not very bright.
Get wrecked, Poison Dash. Also, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it.
We won't roast you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I think is going to happen there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying, I started talking about how the PS5, do you want to get into that?
Yeah, let's talk about the consoles. Let's talk about Cyberpunk. Should we talk about Cyberpunk first?
Let's do it. Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk. Dude. Cyberpunk sucks. No, so Cyberpunk has been in development for 10 years. If you don't know what it is, how? Honestly, how? But
okay, I'm gonna cut him some slack because I didn't know what Cyberpunk was until like 6 months ago.
Yeah, but they spent.
I'm gonna be honest.
So Cyberpunk used to be a board game. It was a RPG board game that had like roles and all that stuff. It's real nerdy junk. Now it's becoming a actual game itself. So basically, the concept of the game is you live in a world that is a city that is full of life, breathing, and it's a very, very, very complex game. The game reached Gold Master status in April. So if you know anything about software, Gold Master means it is ready to put in the hands of customers. They delayed it about 1 billion times.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 or 4 days ago, it got delayed again. Now, the problem with that is this is the third delay after Gold Master. So people who make games, people who understand games, and people who understand software knows that this means one of two things. One, they're finding major development issues, which is not good considering the amount of times it's been delayed. Keep in mind, too, people have pre-ordered this game.
Oh,
so
yeah.
People have put in $60 to $200. I think the biggest version, the collector's version comes with like a statue and everything.
I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna look up the collectors whilst you do it.
Yeah, take a look. I think it's like $200. But people put a lot of money in this game and are not getting any real updates and not getting the game itself. And so this puts a lot of pressure on them as a company to be able to release a successful product. Now, like we talked about in the previous episode, I love exploiting games. I love breaking stuff. That's kind of my thing. But I know when I play a game, I expect to see bugs. In fact, when I played Dark Souls 3, I was like, oh, Woodzy just made a face for the audio listeners. What did you see?
250 quid.
$250, yeah. It's a RPG game, so people love the lore. So I'm assuming that comes with like a book and a statue and some junk.
The collector's edition comes with the following physical items: a collector's edition box, a case with game discs. I mean, doesn't every game come with a case? Okay. A collectible steelbook, a 25cm/10-inch statue depicting V, the game's protagonist, in action, a hardcover art book, metal pin set, Quadra VTech metal keychain, an annotated copy of A Visitor's Guide to Night City sealed in an NCPD evidence bag, embroidered patches, world compendium detailing the game's setting and lore, postcards from Night City, a map of Night City, and a sticker bomb set. There are also 4 digital goodies, including a game soundtrack, an art booklet featuring a selection of art from the game, a Cyberpunk 2020 source book, and wallpapers for desktop and mobile.
To be fair, it's actually a good price, $250 for all that. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
I'm not playing it.
Yeah, an art book. So art books are done for movies, and they're done for like multiple different cinematic things. But an art book is crazy cool. So an art book, the artists actually write it. So you get to learn a lot of information behind the scenes that you wouldn't get otherwise. Those usually cost about $100 to $200. Apple made an art book for their design of all their products, and it was $300. So that's not bad pricing. But either way, people put all this money into this game, and now it's been delayed again. Now, when I play a game and I find bugs, I expect it. I played Dark Souls 3 after the multiple updates it's had. It's an old game, but still, there is so many bugs in that game. But I play it, and I have a fun time. Cyberpunk, however, they have been touting multiple times with these delays, saying that the game is ready. The reason we're delaying it is because we have to come out with 9 versions. They have to come out with PC. They come out with Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PS4, PS5, PC, and then older PC? Like old PCs, and then Switch, and then I don't know what the other version is.
Switch?
I think so. think maybe I'm wrong.
Is that
on
many?
That one.
I don't know, but there's a lot of versions they probably have to account for.
Yeah, but
And,
they're saying it now like they didn't know about this, but they're one of the biggest developers, and it's one of the biggest games coming out. Even Watch Dogs had access to PS5 hardware early last year. So this isn't new. So this is why everyone's scared. Even Connolly, who's on the Grid team, we exchanged words on Twitter about it because we're both in agreement that like this means the game has to be flawless when it comes out. Like everyone loved Skyrim, and when Skyrim came out, there was horses that would glitch through walls. The dragon in the opening cutscene sometimes wouldn't have a head. Like there was insane glitches, but the game is just good, and so people dealt with it. This is a different story. People have put so much time, energy, and excitement into this game. If it's not good, it's going to look bad for everybody. Keanu Reeves is going to be a character in this game, and that character is the head of a rock band. They came out with an album, and it got millions of plays on Spotify. Like hundreds of thousands in the first hour and 1 million in a couple days. Like people are like, they care about this. And it kind of seems right now, it kind of seems like we're getting spit in the face. So I'm hoping that Cyberpunk does well, but they've put a lot of pressure on themselves. And the fact that these new consoles are coming out changes everything. I mean, we should talk about the new consoles because I'm excited for them. Even though I'm not going to
get into that, I want to leave one thing on the whole concept. So whenever you pre-order a game on Steam, it normally says the game will be available at this date for you to download.
Yeah,
I know because I've bought games off of Steam. On Cyberpunk's page, it says coming December 10th. This game will unlock in approximately 5 weeks. Like it's not. They're not guaranteeing anything. Sure no, they're like maybe. Who knows? Maybe they'll delay it again. I don't really know. It's $60, €60 on Steam. So.
Have you pre-ordered any game recently?
So the last game I pre-ordered was FIFA 21, but I messed up and I didn't pre-order it properly. I may have used a website with codes, but I didn't get my pre-order. I didn't get my pre-order bonus for free packs. If anyone plays FIFA, they know my pain. But yeah, I always like the guys were talking about getting it. I was like, cool. I've got some bit of extra money this month. I'll pre-order it now. And FIFA is definitely the last game that I pre-ordered, because if you think about it, the last few games that I've played majorly have been Fall Guys was one of them, and I hadn't heard about that until Cozy mentioned it to us, and that's when I played the beta and stuff. And by then, I felt like I'd already played the game to know that I was gonna buy it. It's never like because there's a big issue when buying a game in advance. You're like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it. I hope I will, but FIFA is a bit like it's repeatable. You know what it's gonna be like.
You know what you're getting with FIFA no matter what.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is like, nobody knows what it's going to be. I mean, you have an inkling of what it could and what you hope it to be, and an expectation is whether that game meets your expectation, whether you feel that money's actually worth it or not. And it's risky. I think that's why so many games are adopting the free-to-play approach, because I wouldn't have tried out Rogue Company, and if it wasn't free-to-play, and to be honest, it's not my game, but that's okay. But a lot of people have found love with the game, and they've revitalized their brand. Yeah. They're doing everything now with Doc. I saw it had like 60k viewers the other day. I don't know how it's doing at the moment, but yeah. So I did mention that, but you mentioned again, and we will get into it, the consoles.
This is the console.
So you're not going to be getting one.
6 consoles. Sorry.
6 consoles. XQC. What a guy.
Yeah, we've got a freaking console year, man. To me, console launches have always been like a religious experience. I've always loved console launches. This is the first console launch that I'm not actively paying attention to because I know I can't afford any of them. But also, it's the first time I've had like a pretty beefy PC, so I'm not even concerned. But yeah, just quick history of my console launches. GameCube launch, I got the console. Xbox original launch, got the console. Xbox 360, I actually saved up money like doing computer repair and like mowing lawns to get the 360 and to get Oblivion. I got that. Xbox One I bought and then I sold to my friend a week later. And I bought a PS4 because so I got a new job, and everyone at my job, 32 people that were on my team, all had a PS4. And I was like, come on. All right. So I sold my Xbox and got a PS4. I just wanted to play with them.
To be fair, that's a great point, and I was originally going into my one. I've had all the PlayStations through 1 through 3. I was actually late to the Xbox. I didn't get a 360 till after I had a PS3, and was moving on to the. It was the end of the life cycle of those that generation. I actually got the PS4 first, but stopped playing with some of my pals and moved country and went to a new school, and everybody there had an Xbox One. So I was like, oh, I've got to buy the Xbox because I want to play with my friends. So I bought an Xbox, started becoming a major Xbox gamer up until I got my PC. And now I'm just like, my console's just sitting there collecting dust and maybe get used to watch anime on every so often. It's like the beefy PCs do it. I feel like with the consoles coming out, there's only one I'm going to get if I get any. And that's just my decision because if you've got a PC, a lot of Xbox's games are available on PC.
All of them. For this new series, Xbox, Microsoft has announced that every game available on Xbox will be available on PC.
Exactly. So it only really leaves the option to choose the PS5. I can literally sit in an Xbox party with my pals on PC.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it whilst I played Rocket League with them. It's very easy to do. There's no problem whatsoever. So, yeah. I think the PS5 for me looks kind of cool. So I feel like the Xbox is more going for the wider audience in terms of like multimedia and stuff, and they're not just focused on gaming. Whereas I feel the PS5 is like, we're gamers for gamers, you know? Yeah. It's all about gaming. And
have you seen their new camera?
I haven't.
They have a gamer camera. Yeah, PS5 is advertising streaming from the PS5. Not specifically to Twitch, because I don't think they're trying to like push too hard on Twitch, but they're advertising that the PS5 will be able to easily stream while gaming at the 4K 120.
That's interesting. I think we was reading this earlier. We looked at the spec sheet before we went live at 120 hertz. That's a big gap from 60. Those guys are gonna have some fun because my monitor's at 120 hertz, so I cap my PC at 120 right now.
Yeah.
That's just like like me gaming, and it's such a difference. I actually tried to play back in when Fortnite were doing their winter console events, so you could do it by console. I was back in the UK, and I was like playing with one of my viewers on PlayStation. This was like last year, and I went back to 60 hertz, and I was like, I can't do it. It's so painful. Everything looks like a slideshow.
Yeah, it looks weird because you're so used to it. I think that's the thing that people forget, like especially the PC Master Race people. Is that sometimes you just want to like play a game on a couch. Like sometimes I just want to like lean my chair back, and to give the normal person, the average person, 124 hertz or 120 hertz on 4K for freaking $500 on an Xbox or $400 on a PS4, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like my PC is not great. I have a 1660 in here. Like I've got an i7 7700K. I've got 2 different hard drives in here. That everything I just mentioned alone brings the price already to $800. You know, and it's not capable of 140, or it's not capable of 4K 144. It's capable of 144 1080p. As soon as I go to 4K, I'm looking at 20 frames. So like for them not to have to worry about it, but get a console that they can play insane games on, and every person playing on a PS5 is playing on the exact same PS5. So the games are going to be optimized. They're not going to be busted. They're going to be great. Like, it's worth it. I've never hated console gamers, and I've never been for the PC Master Race side of the situation, because I don't blame people for not wanting to like drop thousands of dollars on a computer.
It's expensive to get involved in the PCs. My guys moved before I did. This is why I ended up stopped playing with them from the PlayStation, because they all got PCs, and I wasn't in the position to buy one because I knew I'd have to commit a lot of money to one.
Yeah.
And I did eventually, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's a very high barrier to entry to play PC. Like you can get a 400 quid PC, but you can't play a lot on it.
Yeah, no way. I remember actually. You just said your friends moved. So that was one of the things that caused me to move too, is one of my friends had a beast PC, and he was like, just get it. Just go for the PC. And I was making like decent money. So I was like, okay, but I didn't necessarily want to do it. Right. And I was like, whatever, you guys are all gaming on PC. I used to game on PC when I was younger. Like, I'll do it. So I got a gaming PC and I started the process, and they're like, oh, such a good idea because consoles come out every year or every so years you have to spend $500. PCs come out and every year, like I feel like I'm dropping $100, $200 into this thing. The console comes out, there's no extra money you spend on it. You just buy the games and that's it, and you're done. You know,
I made a big initial investment, and I haven't actually or feel the need to update my PC. I mean, maybe I'd put a bit more RAM in there when I'm next doing it, and the new cards are coming out, and that's all exciting and whatnot. And I've got 2070 in there, an RTX 2070. So I'm kind of chilling right now because it's my PC. Go ahead. No, Gabe, you go.
Did you see what AMD announced 2 days ago?
Yes. Yeah, I did. So I didn't know. I just saw the price of the card. I was like, wow, that's a lot. And then I saw everyone going, oh my God, that's insane. Because I am not technical. Gabe's listed what was in his PC. I was like, I know words. I know some of those. Those are words. Yeah. So, Gabe, my guy, will you please give us a detailed explanation about what happened? Because
AMD 2 days ago announced new graphics cards. And they basically said, NVIDIA, F you, sit down in the corner, nobody loves you. It is insane. AMD is killing it right now in processors. Intel just can't compete. If I was going to get a new PC right now, I would not buy Intel. There's no point. The new Intel cards, freaking RAM limit. The new Intel cards, the 10,000 series, the most expensive card you can get, limits your RAM to 2,600 megahertz. If you're editing video, you need the 3,600. Anyways, AMD came out with new graphics cards, and of course, they've announced it. It's not out. It's not in anybody's hands yet, but testing should be coming in about a week or two. The base graphics card competes with the 3070. So for a 3060 price, the AMD graphics card is competing with the 3070. And it just came out. So you're paying, I think it's $549. So they even did an FU by making it $50 less. And it's going to be just as, if not more powerful than the brand new 3070s that literally just got released. It's insane. And they did something crazy, which is actually insane. If you have an AMD 5000 series or above processor, your processor will be able to borrow the 16 gigabytes of video memory from the graphics card if it's not using it for video intensive tasks. So if you have 32 gigs of RAM, let's say, you will now have 48 gigabytes of RAM. Or more importantly, if you have 16 gigs of RAM, you now have 32 gigs of RAM. Not while playing games, but while doing normal processes. So if you're an editor, for instance, or an animator, or a motion designer, you now no longer need to buy super expensive RAM. You just buy a graphics card and you're set. Like, there's so many like little things that they have announced that makes the graphics card insane. And they were like $50 less.
Can I get an insane counter for Gabe? He's loving the cut. That's insane. It's insane.
I'm just so impressed by it. I'm so impressed by it. A card that is literally, when I bought my graphics card, this card that just came out is $100 more expensive than what I bought mine for. And basically my graphics card compared to that card is like a mobile phone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid 800 quid for my RTX 2070 when it released.
It's just amazing for the world of gaming. Like, we are finally getting to the point where a $3,000 gaming machine isn't going to be a thing. Like DMP, our freaking grid man, dude, head of the grid team, gives out $2,000 to $3,000 PCs all the time, right? But now you're going to be able to make super powered PCs for $1,700. That's a much more reasonable price for people to get into high level gaming, you know?
And it lowers that barrier to entry we were just talking about. And then it means more PC gamers, which means more enjoyable gaming experiences because it's so much fun using Discord. When I play with pals who don't have Discord, I'm like, oh, come on, man.
I don't like paying people.
I just live on Discord now. Somebody used Game Chat, and I was like, oh, I haven't used this in ages. And like the audio quality on Game Chat's just so bad. I just love Discord. Yeah, it's definitely a game changer, a big game changer. So, we normally run for like 60 minutes. I didn't start my timer, so I don't know where we are on the podcast right now.
45
one of the things,
40 minutes in.
One of the things we want to talk about as well is because I will probably, we mentioned, I got towards mentioning it and we got sidetracked again because we do that. We go off on tangents, deal with it. but the PS5 would probably be the console I would buy. And coming out in a few weeks as well, probably by the time this podcast goes live, is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, I played a frick ton of that on the beta. Played a lot. I really enjoyed it. Thought the game was good. But they have a 1-year exclusivity deal with the PS5.
I don't understand how you get like
a year. This is what I'm saying. Like when I was on the PS3 and COD had it with the Xbox, it was 1 month. And that felt so long. You'd see these guys playing on the new maps and you'd be like, oh wow, I see the new maps, and you'd see the content on YouTube and you'd be like, oh, everyone's playing on this map. I still don't have that map. I can't play it for a month. And by the time the map comes out, you know, I'm at a disadvantage. I don't know what's going on.
What's crazy too is it's not just PS5 exclusive for consoles, because that's what the other one was. PC got it, but Xbox didn't. This is a 1-year exclusive from PC gamers too.
The big thing there is that they're getting, if I'm not mistaken, they're getting zombies for a year.
Yeah.
Before anyone else gets it. I was talking to some of my friends, they're like, yeah, I can't wait to play zombies. And I was actually live at the time, and we were in Discord, and one of the guys was like, hey, bud, hate to ruin your day, but you're not going to be able to play zombies for a year unless you buy a PS5 and Black Ops Cold War on the PS5. It is, I don't know, because the zombies community on Call of Duty is huge.
That's a big part of why Call of Duty survives as long as it does. Like, look at Noah J. When he does his finding all Easter egg streams, like he'll maintain tens of thousands of viewers for 36, 40 hours. Like he maintains his viewership. If you watch the videos, those videos get views for years and years and years. Actually, one of my viewers was just telling me that they went back into Black Ops 4, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops and was watching tutorials to do all the Easter eggs. And they were seeing how quick they can do it. Like, that's content. And to take it from a console and PC for a year?
You're leaving them hard done by.
I just don't see how it's going to work. Done by.
But that's not the only thing they've got considered now. Warzone.
What about
a huge game mode. It revitalized Call of Duty itself. And they're now bringing that to Black Ops Cold War. But Gabe, I'm like, you know, I got a business degree. I'm smart. I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to work. They're going to rip loadouts from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because you can still play Warzone on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm pretty sure when the game goes, and you'll continue to be able to do so, because they don't want to scare off their complete player base. But the huge advantage of Warzone is loadout drops.
Yeah.
Being able to pick up your own class, your own perks, and everything so on, and being able to compete with if someone's just spawned in, you've instantly got a massive advantage over them. If I'm Call of Duty right now, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, how can I make sure my game sells the most copies possible? I'm making loadouts only accessible from Black Ops Cold War once the game goes live. So if you guys are still playing from Warzone, you have to get the next COD in order to be able to put your loadouts in the game.
Frick.
Because as well, I'm pretty sure they don't want Modern Warfare guns competing against guns from Cold War, because it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Wait, what the frick? That's a good point. How are they going to balance that?
I'm pretty sure they'll cut the loadouts from Modern Warfare and say, okay, loadout drops now available from Black Ops Cold War.
So are they going to give the people who own Modern Warfare access to Black? No, they're not.
No, they're gonna make them buy Cold War if they want to compete. Because that's what saved Modern Warfare. Because Warzone was free to play, and it is still free to play.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Modern Warfare, you have an extremely difficult time leveling up your guns.
Yeah. Modern Warfare
you
sucks.
Just can't do it. It does suck.
It's
okay.
Sucks.
Like, I enjoyed it for what it was, but man, playing Cold War on the beta, I had so much fun. So much fun. I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to enjoy COD again. The maps were horrible.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. There was only like a few good maps, but I was like, the gameplay itself just felt so good. I wasn't that fussed about how bad some of the maps were. There was that Crossroads map. Don't even get me started. It's like literally like an actual war zone of just a no man's land in the middle, and you just snipers just picking you off everywhere. I was like, oh, thanks, bud.
Cool game mode.
Cool game. Yeah, I didn't play that game mode ever again. But no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to aim to do, because it's going to maximize sales the best. And you know what COD's like. They do like.
They need to figure it out. I mean, because 3 years ago, Black Ops 4 came out, and that was the first time that Call of Duty announced that they are only going to be working at one game at a time. That's when Infinity Ward got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they used to be Activision and Infinity Ward were always working on a Call of Duty game simultaneously. And now it's one game at a time, because they weren't making that much from each game, because they were just pumping out content unnecessarily, and it kind of sucked. I think, like, I do think that, yeah, it's interesting, because the Warzone is still one of the highest tier contents of Call of Duty. Like,
100%.
It's still constantly viewed. Courage plays Warzone every day, just like he used to play freaking Fortnite. Tim Tapman, all those guys are constantly on Warzone. And they're, of course, going to get
a big
Black
update
Ops
now as well.
Yeah, they got the zombies in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really interesting. I wonder how they're going to do that. Because I wonder if the internet is going to care enough to do an uproar, or if they're just going to buy it and not worry.
I don't think I'll be honest. I don't see why COD wouldn't do it, because I feel like that makes sense. And the game essentially is free to play. It just gives the competitive advantage to those who are willing to spend the extra money. And COD hasn't necessarily shied away from pay to win in the past.
And if I kill you, I can pick up your loadout, right?
Yeah, you could pick up my gun.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get the perks, which I wonder if that's what they'll do. But essentially, if you have Cold War, you'll have the advantage, because COD isn't afraid of pay to win. They had guns that were OP and drops and stuff. So, you know, if you wanted to pay, because when I was a early doors gamer, my parents were like, no, you can't buy things on the internet. This is when I'm like 12, 13. I obviously don't have a job.
I remember the time.
Where card. And all my friends had these map packs, and I had to game share with them and be like, wow, you're so cool. Your parents let you buy things. This is awesome. And then, I managed to get it that way, because we would never pay. Because this is also when, like, it was PlayStation. So PlayStation was free to play. There was none of this subscription stuff that Xbox was the bad guy for having the subscription service.
I remember that, dude.
PlayStation Plus came out, and I was like, oh, this is cool, free games. And then they made it compulsory, and I was like, oh no, PlayStation, you betrayed my trust. What have you done? And now I play PC, and I don't have to play online. I can just plug in my Ethernet cable, and I'm good to go. Beautiful. Yeah, if they bring a subscription service to PC or something, I don't know, for, like, say it was Origin, you need an Origin pass. I already hate EA enough. They stink.
Microsoft has this subscription service.
But it has a subscription service for free games. Well, not free games. You pay to get games and stuff.
It is
free games?
It
Nice.
is the best value subscription service that exists on the planet.
I think subscription services are definitely the way to go. I mean, we literally run a subscription service of Twitch streams.
Yeah.
You know, essentially, our subscribers get added benefits and all that. And I don't tend to. When we do the Marbles tournament, I could see my subscribers' names better in the Marbles tournament, so I was reading out their names. You know,
too, freak, dude. You're gonna pay to subscribe to me, I'll read your name, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the subscription services are always the way, because you make all your money off the people who don't use it. You make all of your money off the people who don't use it. Like,
true.
I know this is weird, but me and my mom were talking about Costco memberships the other day.
I love Costco.
And Costco makes zero money on their food. Like, their food is
it's a loss
delicious, but they make no money on it, and they make very little money on most of their products. But almost all of their money comes from the fact that people pay $50 to $100 a year to have a Costco membership, and they go once or twice a year. Mm-hmm. And that is enough for Costco to make their money, which is the exact same reason Amazon Prime makes money.
True. Amazon Prime is a great service, though. I actually do. I rate Prime a lot, and the amount they actually give you enough, more than you pay for. Like, you got your videos, you got your free delivery, you've got your Twitch Prime subs, which if you guys have a Twitch Prime sub, feel free to use it on twitch.tv/Gabe Barbosa.
It's me.
You know, maybe some stinky Brit if you want. They offer so much, and there's so much good value for money, but nobody will. I was thinking about this because nobody's ever going to fully utilize it. I mean, So going back to the Costco thing specifically, there's a big point where the CEO of Costco said to the Costco founder said to the CEO of Costco, if you up the price of the hot dog, I will kill you. Because the hot dog is essentially a loss leader. And what that is it means they're not making money off the hot dog, but people will come into Costco for the $1.50 hot dog and drink. And then they'll buy loads of stuff in Costco.
Yep.
And they'll be like, oh, they walk away with like 200 quid's worth of shopping. We've done it all the time. We have a Costco in England near us. It's an American brand, so if you're in the UK, you might be like, what's Woodzy talking about? He doesn't know what Costco is. I do. I love their cookies. They got someone who went back to. I actually found we was moving and I unpacked my bag from my emergency trip back to England, and my girlfriend had packed in cookies from Costco, and I was like, I've got to throw them away. They smell a bit funny. I was like, I still want to eat them though because they're so good.
They're very good.
Yeah, they get you with the food, man. They're so good. They took the oatmeal cookies out the packets, and it breaks my heart. I love the oatmeal raisin cookies.
They know what they're doing though.
Oh, they do. They do.
My dad used to go to Home Depot to go get stuff for his job, and then he was right next to Costco. So if it's time for lunch, he just walk over. He had a membership, go inside, get some food, and dip.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
It's so worth it. And Xbox, speaking of these new consoles and subscriptions and stuff, Xbox is like bundling. Have you seen this? The subscription with the cost of the console?
No.
So Xbox is bundling Xbox Game Pass with the console. So you can finance it with Xbox Game Pass. It's like $38 a month, something like that.
I've actually seen some of my friends post this in our group chat, and they bought it because I didn't pay attention because I was like, I'm not buying an Xbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly this, and a lot of them have actually chosen to buy it that way because it's so affordable and realistic. Because a lot of them are very casual gamers. They'll come on for the odd game or two, and they'll go off for the weekend, and that'll be it. So for a casual gamer like we're talking, someone who sits on the TV and plays, it's a great model.
Apparently you save $80 if you bought the Xbox cash and then paid for the subscription service on top of that. You save $80 total over the course of the 2 or 3 years, I think it is.
Who doesn't want to save money?
Yeah, so it's still worth it. It's just interesting because they're already developing the model of finance, and it's cheap. So that makes me think that next console is going to be more expensive.
Maybe.
And PS5 is going down on the other route.
I do have a question for you, though.
Talk to me.
We spoke about Fall Guys earlier developing and running so well because of the memes.
Yep.
Have you seen the Xbox One fridge?
Did you? Yeah, the legit one you're talking about?
The legit fridge.
Yeah, I just seen unbox that junk, and I was like, what the frick?
They made an Xbox fridge.
The freaking when you open the fridge, it does the sound. It does the startup sound of the Xbox. It's crazy. There's a speaker, and all the lights are green, dude. It's wild.
I kind of want that fridge. I don't want the Xbox, but I want the fridge.
We
only made one.
No, they made 3.
They made 3? I saw the
I just seen has one. Snoop Dogg has one, and the third one is up for grabs. If you're listening to this when it comes out, sorry, it's gone. But if you're somehow listening to this and you have future powers,
Woodzy's won it.
It's on Twitter. Yeah, it's a Twitter giveaway, so you could potentially win it. I think they're shipping all over the world. It's huge, dude. It's like I think it's like a Samsung smart fridge or something like that. But it's inside. They just took the shell and made the Xbox fridge out of it. It is big. Like when you see iJustine next to it, she's tiny anyway. She's 5'2". But yeah, I think she's 5'2". I think she's.
Should you know that off the top of your head and say it so confidently? She's 5'2".
I met her, and she's the size of my girlfriend. I think. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, she's tiny.
Hey,
I met her a few times.
Says my girlfriend.
Yeah, but yeah, no, she's tiny, and the thing's huge. It's an awesome fridge. But I think that like we're in the age of social media, man. Like, stop having 50-something, 60-something people working on your marketing team making marketing decisions for your company. Put the 20-somethings, the 30-somethings, and the 40-somethings in there. Stop leaving these old hags that used to work in print media, because freaking making an Xbox fridge out of the meme, guess what? Got millions of views, and it worked.
Got us talking about it.
Yeah, freaking. When's the last time you looked at a billboard and thought about something else on the billboard?
You know what? The last time I looked at a billboard was 2 weeks ago, and I saw the billboard because I was parked up in the middle of the city, and I saw the billboard. It was on top of this thing, and I was like, that is a terribly placed billboard. If I was by a busy road, and I was like, if I am not parked here, there is no way I'm reading that billboard. They are missing out on, like, they have the potential of so many people, but they're just out of view. And I was just amazed that, oh, it was awful.
I don't know why people use them. They're so cheap too. Like in terms of advertising dollars, there are billboards you can get for $150 a week. I could friggin' $150 a week to put a billboard up. Like there's a reason it's that cost, and there's a reason that Twitter is gonna charge you $500 for one tweet to go up for 2 days to see 1 million people. Like, you know.
When I see a billboard of twitch.tv/Gabe Barbosa,
you'll know why, dude.
I know. Gabe's just stocked up a little bit.
Just a big picture of my face. I'm like,
video for the audio listeners. Gabe just did a really awkward sign.
Yeah, if you freaking want to see it, head over to youtube.com/ I don't know what it is because we don't have a custom URL yet. Go sub so we can get one.
It's a lot of letters right now.
Yeah.
I think you need to. They changed the rules on that because my older YouTube account has a like prefix essentially, or whatever you want to call it.
Custom I think it's 500 subs now.
Is it? I'm over 500 subs. I can't change it because it's my old thing. It's not Woodzy. It's Woodzy 96.
Yeah, mine is. I have two. I have youtube.com/drummerboy13 and youtube.com/Gabe Barbosa.
Drummerboy13.
Can you guess how old I was when I made it?
Was he 13?
Yeah. Dude, I've been on the internet I've been on YouTube for 13 years. I've been on the internet for almost 15.
You're old, man.
I'm old.
No, I've been on the internet for a long time. 96, as you can tell, 24. But yeah, I remember my first iteration of being on the internet. I just look at Beyblade shops and just pretend to have Beyblades. I'd be like, wow, make my own Beyblades, do that.
I had Beyblades.
Wow, Beyblades were the best.
Dude, the internet was cool though. I remember the internet when you had
dial-up sound.
Mom, get off the phone. I want to go on the internet. We're old now. Why did this turn into the Boomer podcast?
That awful noise the thing used to make. It used to look like a stingray. Did you have one like that? The thing that connected us to the internet. It looked like a stingray.
We had AOL, so we had a little yellow guy with a.
It's something like that. Hang on, I'll try and find it.
Stingray internet connection, dude. Tell us what console you guys are interested in. Let us know what console you guys are thinking about. So when this is going live, console is coming out this week. So I'm curious to see if anyone's picking any of them. Excuse me. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. But yeah, tell me what you guys are thinking about. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to pick them up. I don't know about you, Woodzy. I only have one friend that I know is getting a console. I
mean, I mentioned the guys who are buying the Xbox streaming service. Or the subscription service, sorry, not the streaming service, who will be getting it. I know no one who's buying the PS5. A lot of the guys I game with are game on PC. So again, it's like, we'll get a PS5. We're not going to get it instantly. Yeah. Maybe that PS5 will have the next blow-up game with the 3 games on PlayStation Plus that they do, 3 games on launch. And maybe that'll spark some people to buy it. Because I think that's what maybe the console companies are essentially looking for as well. If you imagine something like Fall Guys blew up when the PS5 came out, you think... I mean, it probably would have been a bit of a tricky one because Fall Guys is fun and all, but I don't want to buy a PS5 just to play it, and therefore it probably would have blown up in the amount that it did.
I think a lot of story games coming out too is going to cut into that party game mentality with Fall Guys and all of them. Because you got the new Assassin's Creed coming out.
Through the Vikings one, isn't it? What's it called?
Yeah, Vikings. Freaking violent as frick.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I think that does bring a good point to it. That essentially we have seen a lot of party games in the last year, with Among Us and Fall Guys. And the new ones are going to be maybe story-based games. Maybe my stream's going to fall off. I don't play a lot of story-based games. Oh no. There you go.
Oh no. Oh my god.
It was fun. It was fun knowing you guys.
There was that Party Animals or whatever, right? Too.
Yes.
That game came out for a little bit.
Like there's one coming out soon, isn't there? There's like Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
Is it Party Animals?
I think so. I don't know. Cooler played it.
I don't think it. Oh, is it out?
Might be beta or something.
Might be baby beta.
Baby beta. But yeah, no, I didn't realize that until you just said that. But yeah, these have been all party games. I'm excited for Cyberpunk, but I don't expect it to come out in the next 5 years. So whatever happens, happens. I ain't gonna worry about
it can't be as bad as that. What was that? Death Rising? Was that the one? Was the other guy from Walking Dead? And it was just walking. Is it Death Stranding? Something like that.
Death Stranded.
Yeah.
Death Stranded. Yeah. And then the whole game is a walking simulator.
Pretty much. I've got people raging right now because I can't pronounce the game's title properly. I guarantee it. But
Death Stranded.
Yeah. The guy is just walking for ages, and everyone was so hyped about it. Imagine that happens with Cyberpunk. Uh-oh.
That would suck. The reason I think that people aren't rioting right now is there are a couple of journalists who have had the game since the first teaser in July or June, one of those months, during this whole COVID thing. They got to play for 4 hours, and then they got to play for 10 hours, so 2 different chunks. And they said the game is exactly like the trailers and everything we've seen so far. And so that's why I think people are excited, and that's what's holding off a little bit of hope because people know that has been said, but I don't know. I'm still concerned, man.
It's scary. Again, it's that fear of pre-ordering a game, not knowing what it's going to be like, being a completely independent game that's got all the hype.
Last game I pre-ordered was Mario Odyssey. It was dope. It was just after that I was like, I'm scared about all these new games.
Let other people try it first and see what the hype's about.
Yeah, frick that. I ain't going for anything different, dude. No way. No, thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to us. Tell us what you're thinking about these consoles. We're going to wrap it up here. We're ending it. The next episode, I am going to officially review Woodzy's clothing line. The clothing line will already be released. You can already pick it up. Are you going to have a website? Do you know yet?
There will be a specific website.
There'll be a specific website and a link down below and all that stuff. But the next episode, I'm just going to come on wearing all the pieces I have. Everything I'm going to wear all at once. And it's going to be all about Woodzy.
All the merch.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time. Next time I'm
going
Beans.
to strip live on a podcast. Yeah, you'll be Beans next time.
Next time I'm Beans. Woodzy will get another upgrade to his house. This will be...
Yeah, hopefully I won't be in an empty room and the audio quality will actually improve up until I get my... don't worry, I'm looking at an XLR mic, so we're going to sound so smooth and beautiful, and it's going to be very cool. But
we have filmed 4 episodes of this podcast. We have had 4 different sets for Woodzy.
I'm just, I like to change it. I feel like you've just seen my room take various stages of downgrades. The floor was a little bit of an upgrade, but then there was nothing left in here, and then it's just slowly got worse. Eventually, we'll settle. I'll have to keep building my set bit by bit when in the following weeks. So we will have one, and then the next one will have shelves up. It'll be cool. It'll be fun.
It'll actually be like a timeline of your set, which will actually be pretty freaking cool, honestly.
Just to look back on, I'd be like, oh, look at me.
It's not bad at all. All right. You guys know what to do. Review the podcast. Reach out to us on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking. Go to our YouTube channel. We got highlight clips going up there. Give us some likes. Give us some comments. Give us some love. Check us both out on Twitch. All of our socials are down below. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. We hope you guys have a wonderful day. Woodzy, I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.